Ladies and gentlemen, contrary to popular belief, nights like these are why I love doing what I do, right? Because nights like these, any teacher will tell you, the minute they love being a teacher, the minute they love giving a lecture, is when they really feel like the classroom is ready to learn, right? Sometimes I have moments where I'm so ahead of the actual story that no one gives me credit when I'm right later on, and people oftentimes only focus on the things they think I'm wrong with in the present, and I'm just used to it. Well, this is one of those nights where I don't even want to say I told you so. And see, I know there's going to be some fans who think this is a good thing that Jared's gone. Understand, any black fan telling you it's a good thing Jared's gone, they're rooting against the sisters. The only reason why they wanted Jared gone so bad is because they wanted the sisters to have no protection. The same people in the media that told you they loved Taylor Hill's win so much, all that victimhood complex they kept pushing, were the same ones the minute the black woman was on the front foot and was no longer a victim, victimized her for actually being great at the game. Understand here, coach. As black fans, we witnessed two straight winners, and I believe some of us started to really get full of ourselves, enough to allow outsiders to convince us why black men aren't important. Understand, the past 2 years of history don't happen without the straight black man specifically. And this should have been a huge red flag to anyone that has any type of code in their bones. But this leads us to this season. A season in which, coming off of Taylor's win, sisters were told they didn't need brothers, right? Sisters were told they should go out and swirl instead of getting with a brother who will have their back because he can relate to them. Sisters were told a lot of things. And what I am blessed about is the fact that the RBR community always saw the method to my madness, and they always saw there was nothing malicious in my messaging. See, I always knew any sister that gets rich and immediately wants to convince young black girls to only swirl is a problem, because she's teaching young black women that when a black man does do the things that you want him to do, it's perfectly fine to throw him to the side and act as if he's done nothing. Now we've made it to BB25, a season in which Jared has gotten no credit every step of the way. A season in which fans will tell you he was never good at the game, and yet they wanted him out as if they knew he was a real threat to their faves winning the game. How that is possible, I don't know, which showcases the fact that they've been lying to your face. A lot of these people have been lying to your face for 2 years, though, to be quite honest. And it feels like this season needed to happen for a lot of sisters to wake up. This needed to happen for a lot of sisters to realize how much the black man is needed. Because you see how these other players are playing. Now there's only sisters left in the game. Felicia is now the target of the house out of nowhere. Even she's perplexed how Cerise somehow dodged that target. And this is why I was so hard on Felicia for engaging in that fight with her own people in that room. Because no matter what you say, Felicia, they can so easily turn on you just the same, and before you know it, all you have left is the same black people you wanted to castigate. See, Felicia's trajectory in this game is oddly similar to how some sisters viewed black men the last 2 years, right? The minute a brother made a mistake, Felicia was ready to throw him out with the bathwater. Then she realized, wait a minute, Jared came back. I kind of need him to come back over Cameron for my best interest. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes we have to wait for something negative to happen to see the positive. And that's why in this 30th rant of the season, entitled Resurrection Fumble, we are not only going to break down this rigged episode, the predictive programming that came from production, how about that for some alliteration? We also got to roast this entire cast, not named Mimi or Cerie. Because if I'm being quite honest with you, I can create the argument. How many players is left? 10 left now. I can create the argument 7 of them at least are unlikable. 7 of them at least. And in this rant, we're going to break down the hypocritical stands. We're going to break down Applebee's once again allowing Cameron to make some romantic advances towards her. We're going to talk about the semantics gymnastics of this fan base, who can't stand Jared being with Blue Kim. Even June Song can't stand Blue Kim. It's funny, even June Song is willing to be off code just to go with where the wind blows. Understand, get yourself a cold beverage and kick your feet up. We got a lot to discuss here in this Scorched Earth rant, exclusively on Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. See, a lot of these fans will convince you none of this strategy is anti-black. But when you have Jag out of his own mouth admitting he wants Jared gone so the black women don't have a chance to win the game, Houston, we have a problem. You know, the same guy in Jag who's quick to use a black scent, but every time he goes into the diary room, all of a sudden the black scent disappears? That Jag. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Jag. I got a new nickname for you. Until further notice, I'm calling you Tropic Thunder. Because you're just like Robert Downey Jr. whenever you get around a black person. We're cooking. We're cooking. All right? The roast has begun. All right? The anti-black chicken, welcome to the shadow realm. Have a seat. I'm about to go through all of y'all. We're going to do the dozens. Shout outs to the Chicago streets. Then you got Matt. This guy making victim noises every other second. You didn't need to win the veto during the double. But then all of a sudden, when Jared comes back and they rightfully so apply full court pressure to your goof self, all of a sudden, I didn't have a choice. Why are people telling me I played Cory and Applebee's game? Because that's what you did, bruh. Are you insane? You literally were the guy a couple of weeks ago who couldn't stand them because of how they did Reilly. Now you're their biggest nut hugger. Now you're their biggest groupie. I'd be shocked if you weren't carrying their guitar case. Oh, we're going in. Matt can get this smoke too. Huh? Oh, we gonna go through them all. Understand this, coach. All these people are full of crap. Cameron was the HOH who sent Jag home by a 10-0 vote. Jag still sees something redeemable in Cameron, enough to be like, yeah, let's do this brigade thing, bro. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Even Matt all of a sudden is willing to forgive Cameron. Like, what? So neither one of you two can forgive the black man, but y'all can forgive Cameron. Are y'all noticing a pattern here? What has Cameron done in this game, socially or strategically, to deserve all these chances the black man has not done? Can someone answer that question while telling us that this game isn't anti-black? I guarantee you they can't answer that question. See, the truth is, whatever Cameron does is always redeemable as long as he keeps his hands off Applebee. See, that's at least what the Cory stans will tell you. But that's what makes Cory in this edit so funny. He's telling us, I really need the black man Jared gone because I did him so dirty and I know karma dictates I should get stumped out. So let me get rid of him. That way the guy who's hitting on my girlfriend can stick around and have time to really smash. Like, dude, who does this? If Cameron was black, Cory would have way more animosity towards him than Jared. We all can admit it. Let's stop the capping.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
And see, this is only the tip of the iceberg because we got some exposing to do. But just think about this for a second. What did Jared ever do to Cory's game directly that led to Cory being this sideways towards him? All Jared did was tell you so much information he hurt his game in the process. All Jared did was showcase how much you should trust him by giving you an abundance of information none of them people you're currently working with outside of Jared is willing to give you the same way. The truth is, Jared didn't do nothing wrong by you. He always knew Applebee's was using you, and he was the only guy in that house that ever had your best interest when Hisam was after you. But this is how the black man gets repaid, y'all. People say it's just Big Brother, but this is bigger than just Big Brother, y'all. Because if a black man looks out for your puny, punk ass, like he looked out for you, and if you don't reciprocate even 20% of that love back, but you're creating a narrative he did you wrong because he was after the girl who literally wants to sleep with another man in front of your face, somehow the black man not a good friend to you? That don't even make sense, Cory. You're so inexperienced in dating women, you don't even know when your wingman's trying to help you get away from a toxic one. Oh, we're cooking. We're cooking right now. Cory, you can sit your dumb self down too. Huh? Literally, it is people looking for a reason to be angry at the black man, but when it's Cory being angry, it clearly comes off forced. It comes off as if you wanted to be the last showmance in the house. It comes off as if you knew if you didn't get rid of Izzy, that little girl you trying to cuff would have ran to Cameron 2 weeks ago. So what does it say about you that you felt as if you needed to flip to keep your girl on side? It says you ain't got no confidence in your D game or your mouthpiece. That's what it says to me, and clearly you don't because you're Mr. Booger-eating bandit out here. Huh? Every time you do a little kisses, it's hella salty, coach. Huh? I mean, listen, just because she said she likes you sweet doesn't mean she wants your booger-tasting savory. You fella dig me? Oh, he's getting stumped out. We just began on Cory. We can double back later. We can double back, don't worry. But then, this brings me to Blue Kim, a player who, I'm not gonna lie, disappointed me a week ago. While I can admit she was playing her own game and no woman should be forced down the path of being pigeonholed to what her man thinks or says, I agree with that. I still believe Blue did not have to entertain the idea of telling Jag Jared's secret. I also believe Blue, if she was just going to flip right back to be loyal to that brother, she had no business bashing the brother so much. Because even Matt tonight said he would never trust you, Blue, until the black man was gone. Now imagine if someone in this house said, hey, Matt, you know, I needed Reilly gone because I couldn't trust you until she left. Matt would make victim noises in the corner somewhere. But when these things are said about the Korean girl who's with the black man, no one acts as if that's a problematic statement. Why? Because anti-blackness has been normalized to the point where even the white fans is desensitized. But they want to tell us we don't know what we're talking about, even though we've sat through 20 years of a lot of these symptoms. Now they're trying to tell us we don't know what the symptoms are, and we don't know what the sickness is, as they try to justify the sickness, because they're truly the sick stands. So, Blue Kim, shout outs to you. I believe you was a writer towards Jared's last days in this house, and for that reason, you're not going to catch a stray this week. I told the right story, and we're going to keep it pushing, because I'm rooting for you to win HOH tonight, if not me. But that also brings me to Applebee's. Applebee's. You know, your stands, they tried to get Jared ejected for even mumbling the idea of targeting you. Your stands are so desperate to keep you on easy mode, it's as if their production giving Cam the easiest battle back comp of all time tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, can we keep it real tonight? Cam got a comp that Frankie Grande did by himself in Battle of the Block in BB16. You mean to tell me this was a comp y'all needed Cam to turn around to see before agreeing to do? Are you kidding me, coach? And then we got people trying to convince us this season is rigged for Sari and Jared Fields. When has this show ever been rigged for someone black outside of last year? So it's funny, we have white people using talking points that the game is rigged for a black woman, but last year they were cool with it being rigged for a black woman. So I must ask the question, why are they uncomfortable with the game being rigged for a black woman who actually plays mastermind game, but they don't care about it being rigged for a black woman who did nothing for 90 days? Isn't that weird to y'all? And let me throw this out there. Do you really believe all these people in white media? Do you believe all these anti-black stands? Do you think they would even have the courage to root against Sari, Felicia, Mimi, and even Kirsten if Taylor wasn't handed a W last year? Sisters, this is where I gotta keep it real with you. Y'all allowed the narrative to be that Monty was so bad that you created the narrative Taylor played Monty's game. Now you got anti-black players believing once we take out the black man everyone despises, we can have, it's all fair game. When the truth is, if more people would have saw the truth and just admitted Taylor didn't play a winning game, guess what? All those people this season are rooting for black women. But because y'all got y'all victory, they literally traded y'all in like a used car. It's as if they rented their allyship. How disgusting is that? As they try to tell us how relationships work when none of them have ever been in one. So we got non-black people telling us what anti-blackness is. We got people that have never dated anyone attractive telling us how attractive people date each other. Literally, how many times are you going to allow these people with no experience in what they talk about as if they're experts? People tell me I don't have a right to say the stuff I say, but at least I piggyback all of my talking points based off the black history I know. What's their excuse for having no knowledge of black history and still being anti-black, though? Once again, because I provide the logic, no one can filibuster with their own logic. They label me logical. The same way they label me problematic, they think all the problematic actions of Applebee's is fair game. But let me ask y'all this question. Y'all watched the Survivor premiere last night, right? Y'all saw how problematic that white girl Emily was towards 3 black people on day one. Now, isn't it funny how all the people online that will tell you Emily is a problem, they're literally the same type of fans that will justify what Applebee's does, which is no different? Oh, you see, you just walked into a trap, right? That shows me, and it should show you, the reason why they're not defending Emily is because she's not attractive to them. This is stan culture. If you're attractive, all of a sudden you have more credibility and you deserve to win. If you're ugly, you don't deserve anything, because that's how shallow stans truly are. And once again, I dare someone to tell me I'm wrong with that as well. Because all of a sudden, Emily being thrown to the wolves in ways I've never seen a pretty little white girl get thrown to the wolves. Y'all don't do that for specific snow bunnies. Y'all do that for the trolls. Y'all do that for the ones y'all don't want showing up to the family reunion, and it shows. So, we're going to get back to Applebee's and Cory a little bit later, but we're still going through the dozens, Coach. Let's roast. Cameron, I can't even really hate on you outside of me understanding that tonight you had the comp rigged for you, so I'm going to bypass you because I've always said if you beat Jarrett, I ain't gonna knock you. You're not the problem here. So who remains now, right? I feel like I've gone through everybody damn near. Yeah, I think I pretty much went through everybody, huh? Yeah, so now we can get into tonight's episode for sure, because I wanted y'all to have some of that Patreon exclusive energy before we dive deeper into the real problem here. Now, before this episode aired, even 10 minutes prior to its live air date, there were commercials, predictive programming, created by production, in which Jarrett says, I still have a chance to return. And then you have Cameron saying, not so fast there, buddy. Watch Big Brother tonight. Now, who do you think they're marketing that to? Do you think they're marketing that to black fans? The same black fans who got BET commercials when Felicia was HOH and all of a sudden they disappeared when the black man won HOH 2 weeks? They don't cater nothing to brothers when we win stuff. So I really want to know why people thought that this comp would be rigged for Jarrett to come back. When has anything ever been rigged for a straight black man? Even if Sari is connected to him, production has never been pro-straight black man enough to do that. Are you kidding me, Coach? Are you kidding me, Coach? Y'all look at this and y'all tell me what y'all think. Now, this is clearly the comp. Y'all see it in the top right? Some type of a slide puzzle of some sorts. We see this comp, we thinking, oh, there's like 3 balls on the ground. He'll have to use those 3 balls, get them into the hole 3 times. Cool. He got around to 1.5 minutes left with 1 ball still not in the hole. And I'm thinking, oh, Jarrett's going to come back, Coach. You can even see the lemon booty on faces as the clock dies down. Look at Applebee's, dog. She over there terrified of the idea that the black folks will get that lick back. Understand that. That's the energy in that house. The black people are like, please, please, BB gods, hold off the Stone Age. Just 1 more year for us. And then you got the anti-black players going, please, Cameron, we know you're more likely to probably win out and win this game than the black man, but we still would prefer you staying because we want to be anti-black. Big Brother 25, the Stone Age has finally arrived. That should be your next commercial, CBS. You feel a dig me, Coach? You feel a dig me, Coach?
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
I'm just saying. You rigged a double eviction comp against Sari Fields last week. You let her get stumped out in the wrestling room. This time around, you're making it seem like it's this big puzzle that Caitlyn couldn't do. Little engine that could settings, and then you give Cameron, a guy who's game bred and ready for any pressure pack moment, you don't even give him a comp that challenges him. Oh, what's the point of challenging him? He already won the best of 3. You know, the best of 3 that clearly was Cameron's entire wheelhouse, while he had the entire house rooting for him, but he creates the narrative Sari is the only cheerleader up there. Are you kidding me, Coach? Some of them comments I saw from Cory with a smirk on his face, you had cheerleaders too, bruh. It looked like Bring It On. All you needed was Cory in Blue Kim's outfit. Oh, he's getting cooked. He's getting cooked. Huh? Cory, I gotta keep it real. You look more comfortable wearing Blue Kim's outfits than you looked in a bed with a woman. I gotta keep it funky with you in these streets, and the streets know I'm not lying. But with that said, and I think this is another reason why he's so butthurt, right? He wants to prove to the world he's willing to defend his girl, because he defended her against the rough and tough big bad black man that he stereotyped and said would punch him, right? Now, why is it that Cory never creates narratives based around microaggressions about Cameron punching him? People will say Cameron makes his girl uncomfortable, but Cory will never resort to extreme measures to try to pinpoint or corner Cameron's psychology or psychoanalysis. But he could so easily do this to the black man who's done nothing but try to look out for him from day one. Y'all please explain to me how that works. How can Cory have this unwillingness to ever have that energy for Cameron, but he has all of this gas to be mad at the black man, who once again knew his girl wasn't shit and tried to save him from that? I don't know about you, but after what happened to Papoose with Remy Ma, listen, I'm sure Papoose wish he had a homie who would put him on game.
And I mean,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Folks, where's the lie?
That man sat 6 years while she was locked up and she still cheated on him. I'm sure Papoose wish he could get them 6 years back. All Jared trying to do is help you get 6 weeks back. You fella dig me. But he's the bad guy, huh? Well, I got news for you, Coach. Cameron's going to be the Chael Sonnen that you're not seeing coming. He's going to cook you. He's going to deep fry you. Because you know what? He wants to jump those bones. And he knows he can jump them better than you can, Coach. Even your girl knows it. That's why your girl is constantly trolling you. Oh, I'm going to keep flirting with Cameron. I'm going to keep doing it. I know how it makes you feel because you've never been with a woman before, but let me keep emasculating you. You did wear Blue Kim's outfit, right? And what does Cory do? Yeah, sure, babe. Do whatever you do. As long as I can bust some weasel nuts at the end of the night, you could go ahead and slob them down. What? Even in the edit tonight, production won't even show us Felicia's a target for next week because they're so badly trying to show to black fans this season ain't anti-black just because Jared went home. Literally, Felicia's the target next week. They didn't even allude to that. They made it seem like Cory's the target, not Felicia. When the truth is, if you've been watching feeds, you know Cory once again talked his way out of it. And the only people willing to go after him is probably Blue, Mimi, and Sari. Maybe Felicia if someone talks some sense into her. But literally, it's the non-white players willing to take him out. All the white players, not yet, are willing to take him out. Because even Cameron prefers Felicia leaving because he don't want another black vote in the jury. But Cameron ain't going to say that out loud on feeds because that would be problematic. So instead, he spins it as if Felicia would be a bitter juror. You got Jag and Matt out here saying Mimi don't deserve to make jury. Come on, man. All of that is lumped in with tons of microaggressions. What you mean she don't deserve to make jury? Jag, you went home 10-0, Coach. Huh? If you removed the hyphen, I would have thought you were Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, we're cooking them. We're cooking them. Oh, no, y'all picked it with the wrong one tonight. We gonna make the fans laugh, but we also gonna laugh at the pain. Because the truth is, I think tonight is the beginning of the end for this game. But let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. This rig comp, Applebee's is out here praying to the white Mexican gods. You fella dig me, Coach. Huh? You got Jared in the cut watching with a minute and a half to go. I'm sure Jared thought, he need to get those 3 balls in the hole. I got this made in the shade. Let's get it cracking. Only for production to say, nah, you just got to get 1 ball in, dog. Easy mode. Let's turn down all the sliders on 2K. Let's cut up the aim assist on Call of Duty. Let's even give you some aimbot. You feel it, dig me, Coach? Why not? Huh? Let's go ahead and give you some aimbot too. Let's make sure no skill-based matchmaking. No, we can't do that either, right? The Stone Age is here, right? You get to pub stomp nothing but noobs, the Christmas noobs. That's basically what production said to Cameron tonight. And when you have the commercials implying Cameron is staying, when you have all week the whole house preferring Cameron to stay, I just find it impossible now for someone to create the argument production rig stuff for Jared. If they really wanted to rig stuff for Jared, guess what? They would have made the 3-part comp basketball. They would have made the 3-part comp something that allows a black man's athleticism to rise to the top. They don't turn it into some little pick'em with you balancing on this weirdo stuff. Listen, Cameron from down south, you think he ain't used to being on a farm? A lot of that stuff was farm work. You crazy as cat stuff. It's bad enough during a pressure cooker comp, you playing on all this grunge music, so all the at this point, anti-black players can get a sensu bean. All the black players are like, what the hell is this music? No, this really is a disadvantage. Meanwhile, Bowie Jane is across the way out here twerking. You feel it, Dibby? Listen, ever since pressure cooker, y'all should have known how rigged this was. Come on now. Applebee's holding a grudge with Mimi as if she didn't wait for Mimi to drop before making a deal with Cameron because she wanted him to be anti-black. Cory out here making a Final Four deal with Mimi and Felicia. A tokenized alliance. Let's be real. Why would any black woman trust an end of the season deal with you when you just threw the black man who's had your back under the bus that you had a Final 2 with? It's like Cory thinks he has the laser from Men in Black, and he just shines it over someone's face and they just forget, oh yeah, you're pro-black now. That's not how this works, Coach. That's not how this works. Black people remember what you did. And that's why you need to tread lightly with how you go about targeting one of us. Because whenever you're around black people moving forward, we're going to look at you as the guy who decided to be anti-black for the girl who wants to sleep with another man. See, the truth is, Coach, no matter how you shake it, you're known as the controversial cuck. Oh, we're cooking them some more. Understand that. Because when it comes to getting buck with the guy who literally is Buck on the Kill Bill Volume 1 side of the game, and he's here to You're like, you know what, Cameron? I really want to just address the whole Applebee's thing. When it comes to the black man, hellfire and brimstone. Let's throw everything at the wall. Let's see what sticks. Because you knew there was enough non-black people in there to rally behind you, which makes you a coward for doing it. Then when it comes to that white dude who literally is hollering at your girl every day, all of a sudden it's, I could use him for my game. And you wonder why your girl keep flirting with that man. Because you too much of a coward to step two. I feel like I'm watching The Wire right now. You scared to step two. What are you terrified of, Cory? If I step to Cameron, I'm handing the game to a black woman. That's what it feels like you're scared of, dog. It feels like you thought if you took out Cameron for... And see, that's my thing. You took out Jarrett for wanting to target the girl, but you're not willing to take out Cameron for trying to smash the girl. Either way, both men are targeting her for different reasons. But it's interesting how when it's a white person targeting her, all of a sudden context matters. When a black person's targeting her and he don't even want to smash, he just wants her gone so you'll be more loyal to him. The narrative is, oh, that black man's been working against me from day one, even though that black man told you about an all-black alliance. Cory, please explain to us all how that black man didn't have your back when he told you about that. Huh? So understand this. I must teach this once again to the kids. Don't be overly inclusive. Stay on code from start to finish because you can live with your performance more if you stay on code. If you don't stay on code, you're going to regret your performance. You're going to regret it. And those are the facts. And that's once again something white media not going to tell you because they don't want y'all on code. They want sisters to want to swirl, to give some non-black dude the opportunity to turn her on brothers because they want to see it. They want to see it. And they don't even want black men on the show, clearly, because they've worked so hard to get us only to have one slot out of 17 this time. And as long as we have less slots, sisters, even if y'all get more slots, y'all still don't have a chance to win. So please explain to me how 4 black women and 1 black man wasn't a trap. When we've seen an example of 2 straight black men, 3 black women be undefeated 2 seasons in a row. The minute it becomes 1 straight black man, all of a sudden, the black man don't even make jury. And people tell me this has nothing to do with Jarrett's performance. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense, man. But, so, we've already tackled tonight's episode. Garbage. Jarrett got evicted, of course, because Cameron passed the rigged comp. He did an interview with Julie, and you could see it on his face. He was emotional. He wanted to be able to protect his mom. He's worried for her livelihood in that game. But at least Jarrett did enough work to be able to convince Cameron that it isn't wise to take out Cirie immediately. It feels like Cameron prefers Cirie in jury more than Felicia because Cirie has a gamer's mind. He views Felicia as someone that's more likely to hold a grudge. Now, why Cameron believes this is some move that will flip the game on its head again, I don't know why. But once again, are you understanding why so many people forgave him? Because they realized he was willing to do what needs to be done for the Stone Age to return. See, as long as you bring the Stone Age back, a lot of non-black fans will always view you as the hero of the edit. It's the black players who actually do what they can to hold the Stone Age back that are the ones that get hated more. And I hope sisters are paying attention to this too. Because as you all can see, Applebee's now is the one that gets treated like Taylor. Only Bowie Jane and Applebee's get to be the victims on the women's side this season. No one else. Even Kirsten, no one cared about her because she said the N-word after Luke. They wanted her gone. Reilly, no one cared about her. She was too attractive, had too many men on her side. She needs to go. The minute Applebee's basically uses the Sharingan, the Swaporama Sharingan, to essentially copy Reilly's game, all of a sudden they stand her. But then when Blue Kim literally does what Applebee's did to play just like Reilly, now all of a sudden they don't like Blue. It's like, wait a minute. You're showing us. It really does matter the skin tone of a player that plays this way. Because when Applebee's was doing it, while being anti-black, y'all said she was iconic. Blue Kim does this to defend against anti-black gameplay, and y'all still don't give her roses just because she was sleeping with her brother. This is beyond malicious. It's beyond malicious. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to break down what has happened on live feeds because I want to paint a bigger picture for y'all to get y'all to see why production rigged this comp. Why they have been rigging things so hard against black people. Why this production team didn't choose 2 straight black men. That way Jarrett felt more comfortable in that house. You know, when you don't have anyone masculine that you can relate to on day one, you're already up against it. And unfortunately, you know, Jarrett just didn't have that type of a support system. Sure, he had the two mamas, and he even had Mimi to a degree, but Mimi refused to win comps. He had nobody willing to back him up as another soldier to get the job done. I think now that Jared's gone, Mimi realizes she has to become the soldier. But why did it take for the soldier to go for you to become one? That was always my argument to why I believe black players let down Herman during BB Can 10. When you know a brother is stepping up and winning, it's time for you to back him up. But what happens is people are scared to go right after the brother, so they just leave him on an island to get stumped out. But letting him get stumped out puts you in an even deeper situation to get stumped out too. So you might as well stick your neck out and protect him. Ding, ding, ding. For whatever reason, this concept is so foreign now. And I think it's once again a proponent of white folks trying to tell black women how much they don't need black men, while also telling white women they should stay loyal to the white man from start to finish. You got to ask yourself, what problem do these people have with black love to put white love on a pedestal, but whenever they see black love, it's a problem? You have to ask yourself that. These people never liked blacks. These people didn't even like Swaley. And Swaley get more money than any of these white showmances. They still don't like them. So understand that, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who Jared would have hooked up with, it could have been Kirsten. They would have hated on it. But we know Kirsten wouldn't have hooked up with Jared because she wanted to swirl with Matt. So that's another reason why I've never been hard on Jared for the Blue Kim thing. Understand the continuity. But now I want to get into the Applebee's exposed party, because we had so many people trying to tell you all in the media that somehow it's perfectly normal for a woman to have Stockholm Syndrome. That somehow a woman could be uncomfortable, but she can love spending time with you. These were the excuses used up until now, right? Y'all really gonna be shocked when you find out. Applebee's, I know in tonight's episode you saw her in the shower with Cory, giving him a happy ending. Did you know she also invited Cameron to the shower? Oh, don't worry. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to get there. Understand here, Coach, a lot of the stands, they don't even have a ground to stand on anymore because they've exposed themselves as being massive hypocrites. But first, I want to get into the Blue and Mimi tandem because I think this season desperately needs one of these two ladies to win HOH. And here's why. They see through Applebee's, and they ain't trying to buy a 2 for $20 anytime soon.
I don't know. They're always doing something.
Just pay attention.
It was something jumping and thumping.
So you got Applebee's over here. Sorry. You got Applebee's over here flirting with Cam as they leave the kitchen going into the backyard. And look at Blue Kim's reaction. Also look at Mimi's reaction. And keep in mind, until Jared spoke some sense into Blue Kim was willing to target Mimi and Bowie Jane as her initial noms a couple of weeks ago. Jared put in work to get Blue to realize what she should have realized ages ago when she hooked up with him. She needs to get close to the sisters. She was willing to get close to one of his mamas, but for some reason she drew the line at Mimi. She should have been growing closer to Mimi from the get-go. And you notice Matt and Jag are after Mimi. And you notice Cameron's after Felicia, even though it feels like all of them at this point are pretty much after Felicia to a certain degree. It feels like they're just anti-black women now because there's no black man anymore to bash. There's no black man anymore to target. There's no overarching black man shield. And this is what I tried so hard to warn sisters of. If you're not careful, you're going to root for your own demise in this game because the brother is the only thing pushing you forward deeper into it. But once again, let's see Blue and Mimi have a nice laugh at Applebee's putting that open box policy up for sale.
You're so silly. Listen. I thought it, but you did too, bitch. I thought it, but you did too. You cannot tell me. Like, we could go around in circles, but bitch, girl recognize real. You cannot tell me otherwise. Girl, don't even. Don't even. Please be serious. Hey, yo.
We want to see the players, we want to see the players who understand their position work together and get something done. When the Applebee's stands saw her predatorially manipulate a 21-year-old boy, I'm just going to call him what he is, he's a boy. When they saw her manipulate a 21-year-old virgin to become anti-black to get some cutty, shout outs to ATL, all these people saw nothing wrong with that. But then when Blue Kim starts planting seeds in certain people's heads that Applebee's and Cory need to be targeted, now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, Blue Kim can go. She can go next week. Right after Cameron, she can go. So Why is it okay for your fave to play this way, but it's not okay for someone else to play this way? And if someone is willing to be this much of a direct hypocrite the minute they see the same gameplay used against their fave, how can we trust their arguments when it's time to bash someone black? Ooh, we're getting down to something here, Coach. They didn't expect this much logic, see? I threw them off with the scorched earth. Threw them off. They should have known I was coming logic when they heard that One Piece theme. We're about to overtake some of these cowards. Understand that, Coach. Shout-outs to all my Nakama out here. All right? This rant's for you, for sure. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Because even though Blue and Mimi can clearly see through Applebee's, Sari can clearly see through Applebee's, no one in this house even respects her game because they know she's using this 21-year-old. Let's just keep it real. She's using this 21-year-old geek and she's trying to turn him into her 21-year-old freak, right? But the truth is, she really wants to be at Freak Nick with Cameron. Oh, don't get it twisted. The roasts continue. And it's only right that she'd be anti-black and show up to Freak Nick because she's already trying to steal Taylor Hell's entire aura. But that's neither here nor there. All right? This is why I've never been a fan of just allowing anybody to just get credit for any old thing. But, all right? Now this brings me to Applebee's because throughout the week she said Cameron made her so uncomfortable. Then when the game got anti-black, you know what Applebee's did? She exposed herself even further by trying to blame the black women for why Cameron was labeled uncomfortable. She did that when Cameron won HOH the second time to make Cameron believe she never threw any dirt on his name. And of course Cameron had all the incentive in the world to believe her because Cameron wanted to take a big threat out like Izzy. But I must ask you all, how good has these feeds been since Izzy left? Am I wrong for suggesting that maybe Izzy left a plague on this house like Makimoto? I really do feel that way, Coach. But with that said, understand we're cooking tonight. All right, this is the food for thought y'all need, and I know y'all can't wait for this buffet line. So this brings me to Applebee's because she claims she was so uncomfortable with this man. In my opinion, she only said that because she was trying to gas Cory up to defend her honor. But fellas, you need to be careful of women like this who will constantly put you in positions to crash out over her. Right? She's not going to change what she's doing so you aren't in these positions to have to defend her more often. No. She's too much of a narcissist. She's too much of a main character syndrome person. It matches the Stockholm syndrome of her fans. She's too much of that to be able to say, no, what I'm doing is out of pocket. I need to stop this. No. She gets a kick out of seeing all of the flaming hoops she can convince a man to jump through. And at some point, it's on the men to come together and say, we're not allowing this girl to keep playing us this way. But when you have a guy like Cory, who's never been in this position, he's being exploited, right? If these gender dynamics were flipped, everyone would admit Cory's problematic. But because Applebee's is a lily white girl that likes to make quesadillas, people act as if somehow she is above all reproach. It is astonishing to me. The same people that don't hold back with any of their Blue Kim hate. So I must ask, what makes Blue Kim not worth getting credit, but what makes Applebee's worth it every time? See, this is deeper than just being anti-black now, because I'm all for the Stop Asian Hate movement too. Because I'm someone who is of color that knows all people deserve to be treated as well and as pampered as white people have been for 25 years. That includes Blue Kim too. That includes you as well, Tropic Thunder. Even if you got too much self-hate to realize you don't need the Stone Age for the people who follow behind you. You don't need the Stone Age to continue, Jag. But at the end of the day, you're willing to just get in, get yours, and get out too, you know? And you have to wonder, is June Song's dislike of Blue Kim at all rooted in the fact that she doesn't want another Korean woman to win because it takes away her own thunder? I've always believed Taylor set up y'all sisters to fail, and she did it on purpose because she don't want another Taylor. This would check up a bit. It would check out. I really do believe there are certain winners who don't want to see another black person win right after them because it takes away their own steam, right? We saw Sari being picked for this cast, how irrelevant it made Taylor's opinion on the game. And she works for what? E.T.? She needs to phone home because she's such a recruit. No one cares about her takes on the game. But with that said, let's get to Applebee's now. Let's get into the Stone Age Taylor. Oh yeah, don't worry. The references are going to keep coming. All right, let's get to Stone Age Taylor, because she would whisper to Cory and make it seem like she's this big bad victim and she needs him to save her because he's the big bad wolf who huffed and he puffed and he tore down the Black House. So now she basically thinks she can come to Cory and say, hey, this guy's making me uncomfortable again. Can you essentially do something about it? And Cory, over the weeks, he's made it seem like he doesn't care, right? But the more men act like they don't care, the more you're telling your lady she can keep being for the streets. At a certain point, you got to put your foot down and be a man about them things. But why should she stay exclusive to you when you're too scared to put your foot down? And let's be real, you only put your foot down with Jared because you thought you would lose her to Cameron. But why all of a sudden, when you could lose her to Cameron, why now do you hold back? It's because you're a coward, bro. And we see through it all, right? But let's get into it. Let's get into what Applebee's had to say. Here we go.
I just like, it was making me uncomfortable, and I'm so good because I felt like it was out of nowhere, like all of a sudden. Like,
you're saying she doesn't stuff today, right?
What do you mean? Well, no, I'm talking about from like when he told me during the lockdown that he like that was weird because I thought it was just like it was like flirty, but like very, very like level one. No, but like before that, it was like level one flirty where it was just like not anything. We're like with you.
Now,
like,
this girl is such for the street.
you know, like,
she called
I'll
it
show
level
you this.
one flirting.
You know, like shit like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are with someone, you shouldn't be level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Matter of fact, oh, sorry, y'all can still hear that. You should be level 0. You feel it, Damien? You should be Agent 0, Gilbert Arena settings, right? But she can't help herself, right? And let's be real, she knows the only two men on this cast she is even capable of having a showmance with is Cameron and Cory. Luke got ejected. Matt don't want her. So that's all she could choose from, because you know she only going to choose a white man because she's that anti-black. I don't even think if a Latino man was on this cast, she would choose him over a white man, because she's enough of a super fan to know if I link up with a white man, the likelihood the game gets rigged for me increases, right? But let's let them finish, because honestly, I really do believe she looks crazy in these streets. Because once again, she's putting this guy Cory in a position where she knows he won't step up, he won't step to, but she keeps trying to gaslight him into doing something. She's trying to get him to crash out. She's trying to get him to go off on Cam, because she knows in her heart, if she's in Final 2 with Cam, she can win easier than being in Final 2 with Cory. Watch this carefully, fellas, because this is the sleight of hand trick women get away with sometimes. And y'all got to have the self-respect to see through it and do what's in your own best interest. Cory, he's a lost soul. He's a lost cause, because this dude don't have no experience. But the next nerd, the next one that represents his archetype just might, if they listen a bit. But let's continue.
you think, well, I'm telling you what he thinks about you. He thinks that you're like the poor little boy who's getting played by like the older woman who's just like rebounding and like.
Yeah.
Well, he is the poor little boy being played by the older woman. Hold on. Oh, y'all didn't hear that yet. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me wait till y'all hear that part. Oh, y'all did hear it. All right, my bad. I was on the wrong thing. He is the young boy being played by the older woman, though, Applebee's. That's the funny part about it. You know what you're doing to him, and you know what you're doing to him could scar him for life. If he gets evicted pre-jury next week, and he realizes you just ran to another guy to sleep with and do all the things you were doing with him. The same people quick to say, oh, it's all in the game. Watch how the Cory stands change up if he goes home pre-jury. They're gonna start bashing Applebee's too. It's only the Applebee's stands that will try to come up with an excuse for why Cory is being mistreated this way. But once again, I must ask the question, Cory, how bad did the black man treat you that you'll tolerate any old treatment from this girl? I don't think the brother treated you badly at all. I think you're mistaking sexual favors for real love. A lot of people get caught up in this trick bag, but you live and you learn. And this is why you need to be more experienced before you do something like this. And in my opinion, someone who's as much of a game bot as you should have never took that deal to be in a showmance. You allowed peer pressure to essentially put your game in a tougher position long term. Because Mimi, she's not going to trust you in Applebee's to the end of the game. Sure, she'll let y'all take her there, but she don't trust y'all. She wants you gone this week. Huh? That means Felicia will likely want you gone this week too if Mimi wins HOH. Sari just promised Jared she'd take your ass out for what you did. So you've created enemies of everyone black, while also having Cameron as an enemy because he wants your girl. So what's really the difference between Jared staying and Cameron staying? You still have 4 people after you. And I'm not even counting Blue Kim yet. And please believe, if Matt sees anyone go for you, he's also going to go with the house because he's spineless. So, real talk, Cory, I got to keep it funky with you in these streets, bro. You're really crashing out over a girl that won't even pay you the time of day, give you the time of day after the season. To me, you're a walking L. And honestly, I'd rather be in Jared's position long term than have to deal with some of the shame and some of the humiliation this guy is destined to be subjected to. I just got to be completely honest with you there. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Let's finish it.
You told me, so I'm like, that's what I'm saying. As we're just friends.
That's interesting.
Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to Cory's reaction, right? Applebee's is flirting with another man and telling him they'll be just friends. They are currently just friends. She's also saying after the game they'll just be friends. That's her leaving the door ajar to Cameron being her serious boyfriend after the season is done airing. So now production is like, wait a minute, we got a love triangle story? We prefer Cam staying. This is interesting. Now do you see why they had to rig it for Cam? See, it's important I tell this story to y'all because they're always going to pick the golden boy, golden girl white couple over anybody black. The last 2 years, let's keep it real, that was a flash in the pan, lightning in the bottle. They grifted because of BLM. Now we're so far removed from BLM, no one even cares about black victimhood. Now all of a sudden, only white players are victims. That's what we allowed to slip through our grasp, but I got news for you. Now that we know what it is, now they're giving us the opportunity to link back up, get back on code with each other as a unit, a united front, and then when 26 come around, all these people are in trouble. See, they actually made a mistake here because they woke sisters up to how they played sisters. Now that sisters know what y'all are willing to do to trick them, they'll never be tricked again. You fools. And see, this is what I tried to warn them would happen, but they had to see it for themselves. They had to believe. They went into the season believing y'all were really allies to them, just for y'all to show them that you're basically rent-a-center, but you're essentially rent-a-ally. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to look at this as the glass is half full, because if black people learn something from this, it's not an entirely big L. It's actually a blessing in disguise if we approach moving forward as a united group. But let's finish off, because Cory immediately fixed his hair when she said, we're just friends. Cory don't like that. You gotta understand, a guy like Cory probably been rejected his whole life by attractive women. He probably was too scared to even introduce himself or ice break to women. Now he's got a girl who he never would have thought he would ever be in the same bed as. And now he thinks this is his birthday week. Let's keep that in mind as well, by the way. This was Skeezy's birthday week. Another nickname he got from black people that he has commandeered and been anti-black ever since getting. Keep that in mind as well, black people, as we give white people nicknames so they could be invited to the cookout. Then they showcase why they shouldn't be brought. But that's to the side as well. But this is this man's birthday week. And this girl still couldn't keep herself under control to not flirt with another man around him. Think about that as we watch more, okay? This is Cory's birthday week, and this girl disrespected him so much that she was willing to invite another man to her shower during his birthday week. But we got fans telling us Blue Kim and Jared are worse. We got fans telling us Blue Kim and Jared are toxic. We got people telling us the way Jared treats Blue is the worst thing in the world, but the way Applebee's gives Cory this charity sugar walls, they act as if Cory's a Make-A-Wish kid. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Am I lying? They act as if he's a Make-A-Wish kid. Huh? For real though. Like, what is this? Oh, don't get it twisted. The roast is still continuing. Even with the beat playing in the background, we're cooking. Understand, coach, I'm a true MC. All right, but let's finish this off. Ladies and gentlemen. So, Cory is clearly uncomfortable by the idea that she claims she's uncomfortable, but she's telling the man she's uncomfortable around that she's not taken. If a woman doesn't tell a man who's clearly hitting on her that she's not taken, if she goes out of her way to tell him that she's still single, that is her letting him know he can keep trying. So let's stop the nonsense about, oh, well, she's uncomfortable and she doesn't know how to get him off of her without flirting. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, guys, you know, we got a lot of bees around my crib. Yeah, they like to sting me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a whole bunch of honey on my body. And then when the bees come around to sting me again, I'm going to say the bees make me uncomfortable. What? Are you kidding me, coach?
the fuck are you talking
Serious
about?
question. What are y'all talking about, bruh? And that's one of the best analogies I can give. I'm gonna soak myself in honey, and when the bee shows up, I'm gonna act like it's the bee's fault that I set myself up in honey. That's what white women can get away with, y'all. That's what they can get away with. This shit is beyond malicious. Let's keep it real. Because a black woman would not have all these pleas cop for her. She just wouldn't. Taylor never would have juggled Joe and Monty at the same time. She knew Monty would never go for that. Huh? But that's the difference between having a real man and a man that don't really like you like that. Because Joe was kind of like Cory, right? Oh, I'll take it whatever way I can get it, but when we're shackled together, I'm not really going to make the first move. Monty was like, oh, you throwing that at me? Oh, I'm finna take that down. And this girl aspires to be the new Taylor, who also started off with one guy who was a square, and then got with a real soldier later, towards the end. Are you not noticing a pattern here? Exposed. Expecto Patronum exposed. See, we breaking this down to a science, y'all. There's a reason why they do not like me breaking things down to this extent publicly. Because I leave no stone unturned. I leave every infinity stone activated and shining. And I put people in lemon booty settings. Because the truth is, can't none of them debate me. They love Cory for being on the debate team, but they hate me for being good at debating too. Just another example how if you're black, all of a sudden, everything you're good at doesn't matter. If you're white, all of a sudden, those same characteristics make you cool. Now let's continue.
That's what you've been telling me, so that's why, you know.
Look how uncomfortable Cory is there. That's what you've been telling me, so that's what I've been telling him. He's ill-prepared to know what to tell you in the first place, Applebee's. So you're going to put all this unfair pressure on the virgin to know how to direct a relationship? What? But once again, somehow this is Cory's fault. Somehow this is Cameron's fault, because they're not women. Somehow it's all on the men. It's never on the lady. Okay. Now let's get to Applebee's inviting Cameron to the shower, because what y'all just listened to, it's going to sound polar opposite to what you witness here. And trust me when I say, there's no editing going on here, and you can even see it from two screens, because I want to make sure there's no excuses, Coach. Watch this.
So you coming in? I was talking to Mimi, and she said something like, oh, because I was like, oh, I'm just reevaluating. And she goes, oh, are you reevaluating alternatives? And Felicia walks by, and she says, hair. And I'm like, we all start laughing. And she's like, curly hair. And I was like, what the fuck?
Now, she just invited the man to a shower. Then she creates small talk by saying, other women want to see you with me, and I thought it was cute. That's basically what she just said to the man. As she takes a shower naked. Huh? But the narrative is, oh, well, Applebee's has every right to play this way with Cam. She has to play this way. Remember how Cam put his leg on her that day? That's what the narratives they want to run with. Anything to make this veteran seem like a problematic man. When the truth is, I think out of all the white men that have been on this cast, he's probably the least problematic out of them all. Ain't that an interesting statement being made? I respect what he did for this country. And I respect what he represents, and I respect the fact that he's a father with a daughter at home that needs to be fed. See, the reason why I'm not mad at Cameron is because I understood. You can only play who's on your schedule. And Cameron did what was on his schedule, and he got through it. But what this production team did, to not give Cameron any difficulty level to return, it almost makes you ask the question, what was the point of the comp on Thursday? You was better off just showing us the new HOH comp. What was the point? You know? But this once again is another example though. Let me finish this clip. This once again is just another example of the real Applebee's that no one wants y'all to see. So y'all can go back to this video every time someone tries to tell you she's so uncomfortable with this man. He's such a predator. How he's always around her, hounding her. This girl's literally in the shower, inviting him into it. And what do y'all think she's inviting him into the shower to do? And once again, this is Cory's birthday week while she says these things. This is deeper than Stockholm Syndrome. This is y'all jumping on code to justify whatever this white girl does. And the way I know for a fact y'all consider her white is because y'all don't give her the same type of treatment y'all give Blue Kim. So that's the indicator to me that y'all know there's a difference, which further justifies why I say what I say. But let's continue.
Anyway, I don't know.
I thought Matt was already with.
I believe that they're not gonna let us see.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we don't care about that Jared stuff. But so as you all can see, ladies and gentlemen, you have a lady who clearly is trying to play both men against each other, who is being stand for this, right? But when Monty had the opportunity to date multiple women during 23, no one said he's a legend for having a mouthpiece and being attractive. No one cared. When Xavier had Whitney rubbing lotion on his legs, while he low-key had a crush on Alyssa, everyone bashed that brother for having preferences. But now all of a sudden you can have as many preferences as you want, to the point where you can actually lead on a showmance to pursue another showmance, and the narrative is you're somehow still likable for doing those things. So, to recap, the reason why these things were rigged for Cameron against Jared is because production sees more money to be made in the Cameron story than the Jared story. And when you have so many people over-embellishing on the things Jared does that they don't like, the same things that Cory does that they act like is so iconic, that they act like is so interesting, when really I'd rather watch paint dry on a wall than watch Cory socially. Let's keep it real, the roast ain't stopped. But understand, the people who are rejoicing the most tonight, in a few weeks, let's say Cory's gone, let's say Cameron's gone, they'll be the ones saying the game is boring. Because the minute the people they're rooting for is gone, just like I am speaking tonight, they're going to see what I see. But until that day comes, they're going to stay in denial because they truly appreciate the fact that the Stone Age is finally here. So what you got to realize in this 30th rant, this Resurrection Rumble truly became the Resurrection Fumble. Because this cast, this season, desperately needed Jared back, because those sisters desperately needed motivation to continue. Now with that brother gone, and I'm sure those sisters saw how rigged that was for Cameron, especially since he only needed one ball, they know the Stone Age is here. And with the majority of the House more willing to target Felicia before Cory, because they want one less black vote in the jury, it just further shows why they were so desperate to get Jared out. They didn't want no more than 2 black votes in a 7-person jury, because they didn't want black women to decide the winner. Heaven forbid your treatment of black people comes back to haunt you in Final 2 when you treated them like crap. You know what? I'm so guilty. I feel so guilty about the way I've mistreated black people. I don't even want enough of them in the jury now. If that don't show you what's going on, nothing else will. Now I'm on my way to the live chat. I'm on my way to the Batcave. I hope y'all have enjoyed this rant. A lot of good information and good game within it. It definitely is a rewatchable worthy type rant. But with that said, Coach, this was for the culture. This was for the people who wanted to hear a logical explanation of the anti-blackness on full display. When you have this production team putting in commercials that are predictive programming, when you have them always in the edit supporting only the white players, we knew what was coming. And when you have a scenario in which the black man can literally do everything for the spoiled white brat, and he still gets labeled an enemy of his game for it, Houston, we should have saw the writing on the wall, because we definitely have a problem. And the one good thing about this problem is black people on the same page now more than ever, which is actually a bad thing. So listen, for the anti-black stands, I mean, it's a bad thing. So at the end of the day, Coach, listen, they can take home this little minor W. But the truth is, everyone knows this entire show, this entire season is currently on life support. The past week of feeds have been literally lullaby settings. Every time I want to get a nap, I put on Pluto TV. So all you got to realize is, with Jared now gone, a lot of these people have to find a new personality, because outside of his exit interviews, which will be an ambush, and I know people are saying, hey, Dave, why can't you get those interviews with Jared? They don't want me to warn these brothers of the ambush. They want to be able to catch them, man. We know what it is. We know what it is. But with that said, though, ladies and gentlemen, they trying to shoot the fire hose at Jared and shit. You feel it? And we already know what it is. You know, the way they came at Izzy showed us they know what it is. But I highly doubt they would ever came at Cameron like that. I highly doubt it. We all know it. But with that said, though, ladies and gentlemen, this is a W in the end for black fans, because sisters have been shown the truth. The truth that I believe some of them were willing to look past as long as they could get something out of it for a couple of years. Now they're saying the real truth is that a lot of them have been lied to by a lot of people who grifted for 24 months. And now that they no longer need your support, now that they no longer need you for allies, now they've thrown all of y'all away. And now the narrative is Cory in America, somehow, Cory and Applebee's, the booger-eating bandit and the 2 for $20 Applebee's appetizer. The narrative is these two can carry a season. Listen, Cory can't even carry his showmance right now. You fella dig me, coach? He needs help holding that up. Listen, man, he doesn't have the facilities for that, big man, isn't it? So that's all y'all need to know. But now I'm on my way to the live chat. I'm on my way to the Bat Cave. I want to hear your thoughts on this game. Ooh, smash that like button. It's lit. I'm looking at them likes. Y'all hooked a brother up tonight, man. I can feel the love, man. And understand, hit the Cash App if you would like to tonight. You can always donate. I prefer you don't donate to YouTube because they love to steal money from brothers. But that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, though, coach, this rant was for the streets. This rant was for the culture. And at the end of the day, because we've seen black excellence 2 years in a row, I'd be remiss to not say black fans did not want to go back to where we've been. I feel like we are MC Hammer. We were millionaires and we had to file bankruptcy. But you know the great thing about filing bankruptcy, right? You get to start off with a clean slate again and push forward. So right now I see the black community filing bankruptcy right now because they know those 3 sisters are screwed over. But guess what? Now every sister that's picked for a cast moving forward, they won't be convinced not to work with the black man closely because now they're going to see what happened to Mimi, Felicia, and Cerie. So at the end of the day, once again, this will be a W for us in the long run as long as we never forget who the real enemy is. Okay, so now I'm scrolling up. I'm about to start answering your questions. Thank you so much for your support tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And even Kira had to explain to people that there are white Mexicans. Yeah, people don't really understand the stuff they talk about, Kira. But understand, these are the fans trying to tell black folks what anti-blackness is as they support anti-blackness. I mean, we can't take these people seriously. That's why I honestly recommend y'all don't even give them your energy, right? Let them take this false W home. And then as soon as their faves go, we'll remember how they celebrated the black man's demise, which in turn is them celebrating the black women's demise as well. We'll remember this, and then when the stands lose their fave, we'll give them the same energy back tenfold. And we know when black folks want that smoke, more specifically black Twitter, they can't match our energy. And they've created enemies out of us all now. And that's the blessing. They better hope Mimi or Blue win HOH, I'll tell you that much. But I know they're not going to hope it. But at the end of the day, if Blue and Mimi win this HOH and if Cory gets sent out pre-jury, oh man, Cory's going to have so much regret in his heart for how he did Jared. Because in his mind, he's going to convince himself, you know what? Applebee's wasn't shit. She is now with Cameron. After gaslighting me so hard to stick up for her in front of Cameron, I stuck up for her in front of the black man. That still wasn't enough. And then on my birthday week, she invited another man to the shower? Nah, bruh, I shouldn't have been anti-black for her. And I'm gonna be honest, Cory, it feels like you're Peter Parker when he got the Venom suit. It feels like you forgot who you were. And now, the ironic part is Peter Parker turned black because of the Venom suit. And at this point, Cory, your only real allies left probably are the black players. So isn't that ironic? You feel it, dig me? It's what you deserve, though. You play off-code game, you deserve an off-code prize. And I can't wait for that Jack in the Box to smack you in the face. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know? And you think you'll survive over Applebee's, but I don't know about that anymore. The shadow realm awaits. Korat is Cory, coach. Anytime you see Korat, they're referring to the booger-eating bandit. AKA the booger-eating bigot, until further notice. I'm just saying what y'all are thinking, bruh. I'm just saying what y'all are thinking. Oh yeah, she's definitely for the streets, James. Good to see you here, coach. Patrice says, this twist was a massive flop. I agree with you wholeheartedly, but if we're being honest, has any twist this season lived up to the hype? Even the one where Matt saved Jag, that was a lemon. Because what it turned into was just a whole bunch of Stone Age talk, a whole bunch of Jim Crow tactics provided by Cory. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Tom says he will respect the assessment more if Cory is not the player who leaves the house next. Honestly, Tom, I'm going to keep it real with you. Cameron deserves to make jury more than that runt. I think Applebee's deserves to make jury more than him, too, because she convinced him to be anti-black for her, just for her to flirt with another man. No matter how you shake it, Coach, Cory is the one who needs to have his trophy on the wall. And I don't mean he's accomplished anything. I mean deer hunting season. It's hunting season. And I'm waiting for somebody to get it cracking on the Looney Tunes side of the game. I say, sir. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's time. It's time to send him to the Shadow Realm with his SpongeBob pajamas on, huh? Let's keep it real in these streets. I've had enough of Frodo Baggins, huh? Oh yeah, America definitely is acting juvenile. You saw her goodbye message to Jared. She even rolled her eyes in her goodbye message to him. It's like, yo, let that hate go. You got to outlast the black man. You have had every single transgression you have done that in the last 2 years would have been immediately labeled problematic by white people who were fake allies. It's now being championed as strategic mastermind stuff. Applebee's literally is someone who doesn't realize she picked the perfect season to play. Well, or production picked the perfect season for her to play. Because if she plays any of the last two, she doesn't even make jury. Because none of that stuff works. You think Xavier would have let her make jury? Nah. All that lotion stuff, you gotta go. Huh? You think Monty let her make jury? Nah. Look, Monty may have liked Paloma, but let's keep it real. Paloma is way more attractive than Applebee's could ever be. And Paloma was a much better player than Applebee's could ever be on day 1, too. But we know what happened to her. The Arkham Asylum got to her. So it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Strays are being caught left and right. This is a true roast. Big Meaty says he hates the Stone Age. We all hate it, but you have to ask yourself, what is it about this that has occurred for 22 years, some odd? What is it about this that makes white fans love it so much when it returns? You know, if I see the same type of person constantly win the Super Bowl as the quarterback, I'm going to lose interest. You know, it took Doug Williams to win for the Washington football team in the 80s just for us to see a black quarterback win something. Then it took all the way until Russell Wilson and eventually Patrick Mahomes for us to see it again because Cam Newton was too black for the association. I'm just saying what y'all are thinking. Let's keep it real. All right? It's so rare that we see black quarterbacks win. It's the same analogy to me as a black winner on Big Brother. I don't see how black people having recent success justifies people being so anti-black when we still have only won twice out of 25. They're rooting for archetypes that have won probably, 18 out of 25? 19 out of 25? There's something like that, right? June, Casey, Xavier, Taylor, Josh. Who am I leaving out? Can we think of another non-white winner besides those 5? I'm thinking in my head. I can't think of nobody right now. So, 5 non-white winners in 25 years? This is what people have been waiting to come back? All right, well, hey, listen, man. Good luck to you. I have a feeling even the casuals are going to get bored with this season eventually because they're not even telling them the real story. They're so scared to tell them Felicia's the next target, they won't even say that. They'll allude that Cory's the next target for sure when we know it's not for sure. And by them allowing Cory to compete in HOH again, by the way, they allowed Cory to compete in HOH after Jared left when it should have been if Jared leaves, Cory can't compete. So you compound rigging the comp to Cameron. You compound that with rigging next week to Cory when you know this is one true week to miss out on jury. And we're not supposed to think this shit is rigged for Cory and Applebee's. Come on, y'all. Really think about it. How does Cory get his target out during the double? The week completely doesn't happen. And then the next HOH that comes, they say you could compete again. They did this with Tiffany, but to be fair to Tiffany, she gave her secret HOH to Claire so she could compete again. That was a difference. But this right here, this is what you call soft rigging. Because Jared leaving should mean Cory can't compete. But because production knows a lot of players are after Cory, they actually want to give him a fighting chance. Interesting, because they didn't give no one black a fighting chance by only having one straight black man on the whole cast. Now do you see how this game is being rigged for a non-black winner? You got to look at it that way, y'all. My job is to provide you all with another angle because no one else really is going to provide you with the true vantage point you need to see through. I'm going to give you the magnifying glass so you can see the real fine print. And right now, this season, let's just keep it real. It's Stone Age. And I have a feeling no one's going to be happy with who wins this season. I have a feeling it's going to lead to a winner. Everyone goes, season was interesting, but that sure didn't live up to the hype. People are already saying it now, to be fair. But with that said, they're going to say it even more later down the line if someone like Bowie Jane wins the game. They're going to. Listen, don't get the game twisted. No matter how much people act like they like Bowie Jane, they're going to think this season massively flopped if she wins. They're going to think it. And it's not Jared's fault she could dunk a basketball. You feel it? Dig me, coach. Abdi asks a question, what's the power ranking? Great question, Abdi. Let's get into it. The power ranking, because I've been forced, I would get fined if I didn't do this. I'm on the Marshawn Lynch side of the game. I've been definitely going beast mode tonight for y'all. But the power rankings are as follows. First place. We got to be honest here. Tonight was very rigged for a specific couple. So first place, I got to go Applebee's. Because she benefits the most by the results tonight. If she would have lost one of her butt buddies or her potential showmances, her game would have took a massive hit. Understand that. So I got to put Applebee's first. Even though I don't want to, I have to put her first. And let me make sure I got rid of that music. Oh, no, I still didn't get rid of the music. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We've been performing to a beat for the last hour or something. But I got to go Applebee's first. The game is so rigged for her, hand it to her. You want to crown them, go ahead and crown them. Shout outs to Denny Green. Second place, I'm going to go Cameron. I'm going to go Cameron, right? Because I don't believe he's going to be the target of anyone next week, which is shocking considering he came right back. But if the black man were to come right back, we all know he would have been the target next week. Once again, isn't that quite convenient? Why would production want someone to come back that has the easy road as soon as they return and not allow someone to come back who actually would provide us with a true underdog at it once they return? It shows they want the same team on the front foot to stay on the front foot, right? That's important to realize. But, yeah, second place is Cameron. Third place. I'm going to go Matt. Fourth place. I have to go Jag because by Jared not staying, Matt and Jag are not targets next week either, right? Cory doesn't realize if Jared would have stayed, he would have gone after Matt and Jag in all likelihood before Cory. Cory's so anti-black, he thinks it's best for his game that the black man leaves so the black women need him more, not realizing that white dude wants his girl, he wants him out more than even Jared does. Jared was sent home by you, and he's still giving you advice on how to keep your girl, but you're still creating a narrative he hates to see you with her. I don't know, man. Even when black men face adversity, they show you how real they are. I have yet to see a white man be this real towards a black man yet. But once again, we're the ones that are problematic, though. So fifth place, Jag was fourth, Matt was third, Cameron second, Applebee's is first. Fifth place, by process of elimination, honestly, I'm going to go Mimi. The reason why I say Mimi, Blue Kim losing Jared hurt her game more directly. Well, actually, no. It's Blue Kim. The reason why I say it's Blue Kim over Mimi is because Blue Kim at least has Matt and Jag, who said they will trust her as long as Jared's gone. Mimi and Felicia and Sari don't have Matt and Jag's true loyalty. Sari may have Matt's loyalty to an extent, but after he did what he did to her son, do I believe Sari's really going to trust him all the way either? Not really. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I think that's the top five that deserve to be there. But once again, I think this is a lackluster top five. I think this is a very boring top five. I think it's a Stone Age top five. And outside of Tropic Thunder's self in fourth place, really, everyone on this cast, I mean, they remind me of spitting images of archetypes that have already won the game. Jared was at least unique. You can't say another archetype reminded you of Jared. That's what made him the Black Mamba. And people want to know why he had that nickname. Let me explain why. The Black Mamba was not someone that was easy to get along with in the NBA. Oftentimes, players would say he would be getting up shots early in the morning, getting out 3 workouts before the game. The Black Mamba was a polarizing figure, right? Not to necessarily the basketball purists, but he was a polarizing figure to teammates, to coaches. I believe Sari Fields was Phil Jackson. I believe Jared was definitely the Black Mamba. But unfortunately, this production team didn't give our brother a Shaq. They didn't give him a Shaq. And what did Kobe do without Shaq? It took him another 10 years to get Pau Gasol, Ron Artest, you know what I'm saying? Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom, Jordan Farmar, Sasha Vujacic. So you get what I'm saying here. Even Kobe needed help. But Kobe was always a gunner, somebody who scored, who always got buckets. Someone, hey, if y'all ain't going to back me up, I'm still going to drop 80. That's who Jared was from start to finish. You might not like him for that, but I respect him for that because even Jared knew when he walked into the house and saw another black man, pressure's on me, I got to win. So even though I was mad at him week 2 for gunning to win the HOH over Hisam, now in hindsight, I see why. There was no other brother in the house. That brother felt as if he needed to establish some level of an alliance he could create early on, especially since he was a nominee in week 1. All these things are important, but nobody that isn't black has incentive to give Jared any benefit of the doubt because even they knew that black man was the only one stopping the Stone Age from truly taking center stage. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'm Dave Smith for Izzy Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. It's kind of shocking to me how Survivor and the Challenge USA 2 now are currently more interesting than Big Brother. I thought this day would never come, but I'm thoroughly enjoying both shows. I really am. But there is a chance this show could get good again, but it would take a Mimi, a Blue, a Felicia, or Sari HOH win. Anyone other than those 4 women winning HOH, I'm sorry, the game is boring. And the last thing I want is for people to target a sister just because they don't want 3 sisters on jury because they want to be absolved of their own anti-blackness. No, you're going to have to hold that. And if y'all don't treat these sisters with more respect and they make jury, that's your fault if you lose the game 4-3. It's your fault. I'm Dave Smith for Izzy Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. And this was another scorched earth rant that was provided with a lot of logic. Do you agree with my takes that production set up the black community for failure? Do you agree with my takes that the white media set up black women also to be bamboozled and blindsided this season? Do you agree with me that my take on all of this has truly been the true righteous take because I've tried to forewarn our community this day would come this season? A lot of things happened all at once, but the important thing is that we're going through it together. And just like Felicia said during tonight's episode, families fight and they argue all the time, but a real family always comes back together to realize they're all they got. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, everyone within the RBR larger family, we're all we got, because now we see how anti-black the rest of these entities are. So now moving forward, we know how to move, and all we can do is hope production doesn't set us up to fail again. But that's why it's our responsibility to be vocal about how rigged this game was against everyone black, because they didn't give us 2 straight black men. And the minute they see sisters all of a sudden seeing value in brothers, guess what, sisters? Y'all gonna start winning again. I promise you that. But we all gotta come to the table and admit we need each other. I'm willing to admit black men need y'all. I'm just asking for y'all to meet us halfway. And we could definitely win 26. And that's on everything. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see y'all for another one on the flip side, alright? Until next time. You fought valiantly, Black Mamba. Keep your head up, coach. I know how much pressure you were under to protect your OG. And just like a lot of black kids that grow up in the hood, they truly are the man of their family that gotta protect their mom. You was the man of that house protecting your mom. And I ain't never gonna throw no shade on you for standing tall for her throughout this process. I know you were up against the 8 ball, but that's why I'm gonna call out the dirty pool players around you. Thank you so much.